Hello friends, welcome to ELS English Literature Studies with Gaur Harpreet. Today I will discuss Eskil. This is third video on Eskil. In first video he was introduced, and in second video he was discussed as a pioneer of Indian English poetry, or we can say Eskil as an Indian poet. Today I am going to discuss all these aspects of his work. So let's get started. And before starting, let us discuss about him in brief. Nissim Eskil is often considered as father of modern English poetry, and he was honored with Sahitya Akademi Cultural Award in 1983 and Padma Shri Award in 1988, right? Eskil is deeply rooted in the Indian soil in his poetry. We can feel a touch of Indianness. That is what we can say, specification of his work. That is the main trait of his work, main characteristic, main feature of his work, that we can find a touch of Indianness in his work, right? And this Indianness that seems to reflect a confidence in the direction and purpose of his writing, as well as integrity of image of India, style and subject matter, right? Eskil as a poet occupies a position of considerable importance in post-independent India. In Indian English literature, he is perhaps the first English poet who shows consistently to the Indian readers that craftsmanship is as important as the subject matter. Yes, he is a serious poet. He is like a craftsman. Eskil is, we can say, first English poet who shows consistently to us that craftsmanship is as important as the subject matter is important, right? He is a craftsman, and to him poetry is a craft to be studied seriously, right? Eskil's concept is that writing poetry is not just a matter of inspiration, but studying the skill of writing carefully. And this study demands a lot of patience from the poet. Many of Eskil's poems express his view that poetry can be built in resolving the tension between two opposite forces and then trying to maintain a balance between these two opposite forces, right? He believes in work hard till he achieves a kind of perfection. Eskil, we can say, Eskil brought a sense of discipline, sense of self-criticism and mastery to Indian English poetry. He was the first Indian poet to have such a professional attitude, right? Talking about his technique and style, the greatness of Eskil lies in his style. His style is much simpler in techniques. It is born out of the fact that best poet wait for the best words. Eskil came out with the entirely new poetic technique that could communicate the future dreams and aspirations of India in a new scenario, right? And his poetry is notable for an extreme technical formality. When most of the poets were obsessed with traditional metrical and stanzaic forms, Eskil's poetry of this period fits squarely into this convention with strong meters, formal stanza structures, and regular rhyme. Next is about his sincerity, about his work. The remarkable aspect of his poetry is his sincerity and individuality, right? By individuality, I mean here is that his poems generalize his own felt experience. It is neither repetitive nor shocking, but it is simple, introspective and analytical. Eskil, we can say, Eskil treats poetry as a first-hand record of the growth of his mind. He loves simplicity. Life is seen by him as a quest for wholeness, for intellectual satisfaction, for spiritual satisfaction, right? Eskil has experimented with the use of typical Indian language, typical Indian English, right? And when he introduced the use of the present continuous tense instead of simple present tense, and the repetition of the continuous twice are the Indianness, and his such poems reveal the common Indian mistakes of using present progressive tense in place of the simple present tense, right? And this point will be very clear to you if you watch my previous video in which I have discussed him, Eskil as a pioneer of Indian English poetry. This point will be very much clear there, right? Next is one can easily find variety of themes or a wider range of subjects in his poetry, right? He is a poet with a variety of themes. He is not confined to a particular theme or a particular technique in his poetry. He has an open mind, and therefore he changes the subject matter of his poetry from time to time. We can say that about Eskild, we can say that he is capable of turning words into metaphor, image or symbols as the situation demands. No doubt he accepts the linguistic framework, but he is fond of using paradoxical language in his poetry for greater poetic effect, right? And Eskild's clarity of thought, clinical precision of words and phrases, and employment of imagery makes his poetry distinctly Indian, right? Again, we can say Eskild is a master of free verse. We find rhythm that suits emotional mood of the poem. And an example of Eskild's free verse is found in the poem Night of the Scorpion. It is a simple poem in which Indian superstitions and old beliefs are set up against scientific and realistic temperament. And the success of this poem, Night of the Scorpion, the success of this poem lies in the careful variation of the rhythm, right? His poetry is also remarkable for the use of imagery. His poem, Poet Lover Birdwatcher. This poem is also a fine specimen of his use of imagery. He attempts to define the poet in terms of birdwatcher and lover, and here his imagery is remarkable for decorum. Eskild believes in the Yeastian method of organizing oneself through words. The fact that Eskild is a master of traditional form, he has brilliant mastery of parody, and it can be seen in all the poems in the Unfinished Mind, right? It is rightly said about Eskild that even in the narrow limit, he successfully affects the change of tone suiting the subject matter. And beside the mastery of parody, Eskild has cultivated conservational style also. He has maintained remarkable poetry of diction in his words. In this respect, he is closer to Dr. Johnson and Goldsmith. He has maintained remarkable restraint in his expression, right? Like Dr. Johnson, Eskild makes a limited and precise use of metaphors. His simplicity is greatest virtue, right? His simplicity is his greatest virtue, right? And he is respected for the simplicity and conversational ease of his language, and for the economy and exactness in the use of words. The impressiveness of his imagery and the sharpness of his wit and irony are also praised. So friends, this is all about today's topic, that is again on Eskild. I hope you will like the content, and if you like it, please hit the like button, share and subscribe my channel, and if you are new on my channel, please hit the bell button so that you can get notifications for my upcoming videos. Thanks a lot for watching.